Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down an absolutely massive idea for the next generation, curating the future of AI in modern healthcare. Let's dive straight into what this whole concept actually means for the world, and honestly, what it means for you.
So right off the bat, what does curating the future actually mean? I want you to pause for a second and really ponder the active, powerful meaning behind that very first word, curating. The author didn't write waiting for the future or guessing the future. They specifically chose the word curating. When you read a text, those very first words set the entire stage, right? They're basically the lens through which we're supposed to view everything that follows. So before we even start talking about technology or medicine, we really have to unpack this profound starting point.
Okay, let's look at section 1, curating the future.
Usually when you hear the word curating, your mind probably goes straight to some quiet art gallery, right? You picture a curator carefully picking out which paintings tell a specific story. But in the context of our source text, curating is way more dynamic than that. Think of it more like an architect blueprinting a brand new smart city. It's the act of actively selecting, organizing, and looking after the literal items that will build tomorrow. It implies that the future isn't just some random event that's going to crash into us. No, it's a space that we actually get to design, organize, and fill with the absolute best tools and ideas we have on hand. There is a stark contrast here between passive waiting and active curating. Passive waiting is kind of like sitting at the bus stop of life, just hoping a good future rolls by. Active curating, on the other hand, that's grabbing the steering wheel yourself. Our source material is challenging us to recognize the difference between simply letting the future happen to you versus stepping up to curate it. It's a total call to action. It sets the expectation that we are supposed to be the ones making the choices that define tomorrow.
Moving right along to section 2, defining modern healthcare.
So the actual space being curated here is defined as modern healthcare. This represents the current, highly advanced state of medical care. But it's not just a boring collection of static hospitals and clinics. It's a totally dynamic living ecosystem that has completely moved beyond the old methods and is actively evolving. It's a system that's constantly hungry for new tools, new efficiencies, and entirely new ways to solve incredibly complex human problems. Like, for example, predicting diseases long before they even show a single symptom.
And guys, we aren't talking about science fiction here or some hypothetical scenario 100 years down the road. This data processing and system building is happening right now. By specifying modern healthcare, the source material grounds this whole massive concept in the present day, which makes it super relevant. The systems being built and the decisions being made are literally unfolding in the exact world you are currently living and learning in.
All right, let's jump into section 3. What is AI?
Our source text explicitly names artificial intelligence, or AI, as the central technological tool driving this entire new era. If modern healthcare is the landscape we're curating, AI is essentially the heavy machinery we are bringing in to do the heavy lifting. It's a tool driven by complex neural networks and machine learning that is capable of organizing massive data sets, recognizing really subtle medical patterns, and even assisting in super complex robotic surgeries at a scale that was honestly previously impossible. But how does a tool like AI actually change a modern landscape? Like, why specifically single out artificial intelligence to be paired with medicine? Well, think about it. Every time a major new tool is introduced to human society, whether that was the printing press, the steam engine, or the internet, it didn't just speed up the old processes, it fundamentally changed what was possible. By pairing AI with healthcare, the text is suggesting a complete transformation of how we understand, diagnose, and treat human health. It's a real game changer.
Which brings us nicely to section 4, AI meets healthcare. Now, when you bring an incredibly advanced tool like AI into a highly complex landscape like healthcare, you don't just get a minor upgrade. You create an entirely new frontier. The tool allows you to interact with the landscape in ways that previous generations literally couldn't even imagine. It's perfectly marrying biological science with just raw computational power. So we get this equation, AI plus modern healthcare equals curating the future. This equation is the beating heart of our source text. Bringing artificial intelligence into medicine is the exact method by which the future is being curated. It tells us point blank that the future of human health isn't going to be decided by chance. It's going to be actively shaped by how effectively we apply artificial intelligence to medical science. And finally, section 5, your role as students. Okay, so we have the tool, which is AI. We have the landscape, which is modern healthcare. But the final, ultimate secret of our source text, the curators, Our school students, yes, you're the final and absolutely most important piece of this entire conceptual puzzle. The adults of today might be laying the very early groundwork, sure, but the true curators of this future landscape are the students sitting in classrooms right this second.
Just listen to the exact phrasing from our source text. AI in healthcare for school students. It doesn't say for doctors or for scientists or for politicians. No, it says for school students. This entire technological evolution, this absolute massive shift in how humanity handles health and medicine, is meant for you to inherit. It's being documented and explained for you because you're the ones who will be using this tool and this landscape for decades to come. You are the ones who will be actively curating the reality of tomorrow. Which leaves us with one final, incredibly important question. Now that you know the tool is AI, and you know the landscape is modern healthcare, and you know that you are the designated curators, how will you choose to curate the future? Are you going to be a passive observer sitting at the bus stop? Or will you step up, learn the tools, understand the landscape, and actively shape a better, healthier tomorrow? The future is literally waiting for you to curate it.